Week 10 of the SEC football season is officially come and gone. These are my latest power rankings entering week number 11 of the season. Hello, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in as always. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. We are inching ever so close to that 30,000 subscriber mark. We can't do it without your love and support. Also, guys, make sure you check out our friends over at FanDuel because, as always, we are brought to you by our friends at FanDuel, FanDuel.com/SECU to join today and get started with $250 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Once again, FanDuel.com/SECU to get in on the action today. 10 weeks of SEC football are officially in the books. Week number 11 is upon us, and these are my latest power rankings. As, of course, we start at the bottom with number 16. And coming in the last spot, we've got a change in the guard when it comes to the cellar dweller. Number 16 is the Arkansas Razorbacks. After Arkansas falls to Mississippi State, the Hogs remain winless in SEC play. They help Hail State get their first SEC win of the Jeff Lebby era. I mean, guys, the season's a wash. Arkansas football is a wash right now. The only question is, who is going to be the next head football coach? What happens from here on out? Really is sort of a moot point. I mean, you look at the rest of the slate, you're on a bye week, you're at LSU, you're at Texas, and then you've got Mizzou. Could you possibly steal one? Maybe, but you're probably going defeated in SEC play. And again, the big question is just this: who is going to be the next head football coach in Fayetteville? Number 15, guys, I got the Auburn Tigers. Now, admittedly, I could have Auburn higher here because without Hugh Freeze, who has been relieved of his duties, of course, this may be a much better football team. But obviously, guys, Auburn falling to Kentucky, scoring 3 points on the home field. Kentucky getting their first SEC win of the season against War Eagle. I mean, you are at rock bottom right now. And again, who's the next head football coach going to be? That is the talking point, and that is the focus, of course, for the folks down there on the plains. And maybe you can steal one again late in this season. You are at Vandy this weekend against Diego Pavia. You've got Mercer, so you're going to win another football game. Then you got Alabama at Jordan-Hare. Could you play spoiler to the Crimson Tide with an interim head coach and DJ Durkin? Maybe, just maybe. We'll see it. Number 14, guys, I've got the South Carolina Gamecocks. The Gamecocks firing offensive coordinator Mike Shula. Will that lead to improvement on the offensive side? We shall see. South Carolina, of course, on their bye week. They've got 3 games left at Texas A&M, Coastal Carolina, and Clemson. Really, guys, South Carolina season has just come down to, do you beat your arch rival Clemson? That's really what it comes down to. You're both terrible. You get that game in Columbia. Maybe you have that to hang your hat on. But Mike Shula gone? Is Shane Beamer next? He very well could be. We shall see. Number 13, guys, I got the Kentucky Wildcats. How about Kentucky getting their first SEC win, taking down the Auburn Tigers, 10-3 final? Yuck. But either way, Mark Stoops maybe, just maybe, got himself off the hot seat when you consider the fact you won an SEC game and the buyout. Again, this is another one, guys, where you're 3-5. You got to win 3 more on the rest of the way out to get to a bowl game, which it's crazy that's even a possibility for this Kentucky team as bad as they've been this season. But it is within the realm of possibility. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But Kentucky getting that first SEC win. Cutter Boley's actually been pretty good at quarterback. I'll give the kid credit. He's been much better than I expected. And maybe you can take down your arch rival Louisville. Got a big game this weekend, though, at Kroger Field against Florida. And we know, number one, that series against Florida has turned over the last couple of years. Number 2, Kroger Field at night, weird things tend to happen. At number 12, guys, how about Jeff Lebby and the Mississippi State Bulldogs getting their first SEC win of the Jeff Lebby era? How do they follow it up? They got the Georgia Bulldogs coming to Starkville this weekend. I am less than optimistic that Mississippi State's going to get the job done, but hey, there's a lot of excitement and a lot of positivity around this game this weekend. Can Hail State pull the upset? We shall see. But hey, good on you, Jeff Lebby and company. You're showing a little bit of progress. You saw it on the field at times in these close games, but you needed that proof of concept that was actually winning one of these SEC games, and you got it. So good on you, Jeff Lebby. We'll see what you can do against UGA. At number 11, guys, I've got the Florida Gators. Florida coming off the tough loss in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. The Gators follow that up, of course. We just talked about the road trip to Lexington. Again, the rest of the season sort of a wash for Florida. I mean, you're just worried about who the next head football coach is going to be. You'd like to beat Florida State down the stretch. Sure, you'd like to steal 1 or 2 here and there, maybe even get to a bowl game, but realistically, the season's a wash. So we'll see what Florida can do in Lexington. 3.5-point favorites, really interesting line there. But, trying to get the first win of the Billy Gonzalez era as interim coach. Number 10, I've got the LSU Tigers, guys. This LSU team, a team we're going to be seeing this weekend in person in Tuscaloosa as they take on Alabama. Of course, LSU firing Brian Kelly and coming off of the bye week. So LSU, no movement really for them in this week's power rankings. We'll see what they can do. Listen, the fired coach bump is a real thing, right? We saw it with Florida, how well they played against Georgia. We've seen it with some others as well. The fired coach bump is a real thing. What do we get from this LSU team? There's beauty in the unknown. And granted, again, you got to go play against the Bama team that has got Kalen DeBoer and company off a bye week and is one of the best teams in the country. But with this game, you never know. So maybe Garrett Nussmeier and company, Blake Baker, get my DCs mixed up. Maybe LSU has got a punch for Alabama they're not expecting, but tough season down in Baton Rouge, the Tigers. That's why Brian Kelly's no longer there. Number 9, guys, I've got the Missouri Tigers. Huge, huge opportunity for MIZ. Massive. You've got Texas A&M on your home field. Here's the problem. Mizzou is 6-2. What is their best win? South Carolina? Kansas? I mean, truly, what is their best win? This has been the most typical Mizzou season where it's like you might finish 9-3 and really beat no one of substance. I know Mizzou fans get so frustrated with that because, listen, your schedule is your schedule, and I get it. But, like if you go 8-4 and you lose to A&M and Oklahoma down the stretch, again, what will your best win have been? Mississippi State, South Carolina, Kansas? Like, you got to score one of these signature wins. Mizzou is not out of this playoff race, but they just need that signature win in the season. A&M coming to town certainly serves as that opportunity. Guys, at number 8, I've got the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee coming off that tough loss in Knoxville against Oklahoma, which Oklahoma reminding us that they are still firmly in the race. I still think this Tennessee football team is a good football team, middle of the pack football team. And by the way, I know it's not a majority of the fan base. I talked about this week on social media. I know it's a small minority, but one person's too many. Anybody who's saying they need to run Josh Heupel out of town, absolutely foolish. Josh Heupel, what he's done with that program, I don't think people really appreciate enough what he's done turning around Tennessee football. So the Vols coming off that really, really tough loss. Like we mentioned, they are on the bye week this week. They close out with New Mexico State at Florida Vandy. But unfortunately, with 3 losses, the college football playoff hopes and dreams have officially died. At number 7, I've got Diego Pavia and the Vanderbilt Commodores. Vandy, again, with a huge game this weekend against the Auburn Tigers. They are still firmly in the race for the CFP. You got Auburn bye week, Kentucky at Tennessee. You very well might be going to Neyland with a shot at the playoff on the line. How about that? And a tough loss this past weekend at Texas. That line always felt funny to me, guys. Texas was favored. Why was Texas favored? Well, we all saw why Texas was favored. Heck of a comeback, though, by Vandy. And Diego Pavia getting hot through the air. I think that's only the second time in his career he's thrown for more than 200 yards in a game against a Power 4 football team. Threw for 365 against that Texas defense. We'll see how he follows that up. Dangerous Auburn team coming in without Hugh Freeze, though. Going to be interesting. Number 6, guys, I've got the Oklahoma Sooners. How about Boomer Sooner? Again, just reminding us all that they're still firmly in this college football playoff race. I felt bad when I picked Tennessee last week, guys, from the standpoint I felt like I was selling way too much of my Oklahoma stock way too quickly because I know we know Oklahoma's a good team. Right, a month ago I was talking about they might be the best team in the SEC, and all of a sudden it felt like they sort of fell off a cliff. John Mateer is back. He's healthy. He's good to go. That defense is elite. You look at what Oklahoma's got the rest of the way. They are on their bye week at Bama, Mizzou, LSU. Folks, if Oklahoma makes the college ball playoff, they will have earned their way in. You could argue at 9-3 they deserve to get in, but I just don't think a 3-loss SEC team's getting in. I think there's going to be too many 2-loss teams and 2-loss teams across the country. I don't see Oklahoma sneaking into 9-3. I think you need to win out to punch your ticket. Again, if Oklahoma gets there, they will have earned it, no doubt. Number 5, guys, I got the Texas Longhorns. Texas, Arch Manning. Don't look now, but Arch is heating up. If we get this version of Arch, guys, I still think it's a bit of a pipe dream. I still think Texas at best probably finishes 9-3. But you get this version of Arch we've seen, And Texas, of course, guys, on that bye week where they travel to Athens to take on the Georgia Bulldogs, we get this version of Arch, I think all bets are off. I mean, I think Texas absolutely could make a run. Can you imagine if Texas found a way after the early season struggles to still finish 10-2 and get into the college football playoff? Might be an Ohio State story like last year, because this team's still loaded with talent. They just struggled early. So we'll see Arch Manning rounding into form. The defense is still elite, obviously. And that game in Athens, man, that is going to be a big one. Number 4, guys, I've got the Ole Miss Rebels, Hotty Toddy, sitting in the 4 spot, coming off their win over South Carolina, where they were able to cover the spread and get a big win in Oxford. They've got the Citadel this weekend. Ho-hum. Ole Miss still firmly right there in the SEC title race. And, of course, the college football playoff discussion. Number 3, I've got the Georgia Bulldogs. Again, saw them in person in the cocktail party. Big win for the Dogs. Georgia just keeps on keeping on. Guys, I think they're at a point they prefer to play these close games. They love these close games. They love it. They love getting it out the mud. That's how Georgia wants to win football games. Now, you could say they're playing with fire, and I totally get that. I understand where you're coming from, but, I mean, dude, they just find a way. I mean, it's just the Kirby Smart way. They find a way. We'll see if they can keep it rolling at Mississippi State. You'd think at some point they have to get off to better starts. They can't go into halftime down. They can't fall behind early. But they're finding ways to win, and that's all that matters, especially in today's college football where there's so much parity, there's so many upsets. Georgia just keeps on keeping on week after week. Guys, at number 2, I've got the Alabama Crimson Tide. You notice there is no change in the top 3. Bama is at number 2. Of course, Alabama did not play. They've got the big one this weekend hosting the LSU Tigers. Cannot wait to get to Tuscaloosa and get a firsthand look at the Crimson Tide. And at number 1, guys, I've got the Texas A&M Aggies. Again, Texas A&M going to Como this weekend. I talked about it, guys, this week. The biggest question for A&M is just, can they mentally hold it together down the stretch and not do what they've done so many times in years past, and that being crumble? Listen, the Texas 8-4 jokes are gone. I mean, mathematically, sure, it's possible. They're not losing to Samford. So you got Mizzou on the road, South Carolina, Samford, and at Texas. I mean, it would take an implosion of all implosions for that to happen. This Texas A&M team is for real. We say it every single week, which I think you have to remind people. Like, this Texas A&M team, they can win the SEC title. They can win the national championship. They are that good. They're the most complete team in the conference, in my opinion. They have the fewest weaknesses and the fewest deficiencies, in my opinion. Texas A&M is proving week after week that for real. Again, the mental grind, I think, is more so now what you lock in on. You got to finish this thing. You got to finish this thing off the right way. It starts this weekend in Como. Interesting spread in that game. A&M, only a 6.5-point favorite. We'll see what happens. But I do have them in the number 1 spot in my power rankings. And, guys, those are my Week 11 power rankings, SEC football power rankings as we sit in the month of November. Just a few weeks left, if you can believe it. Just a few weeks left in the regular season. We'll be talking championship Saturday before you know it. But, guys, we'd love to hear from you all. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? How would you power rank the teams of the SEC going into week number 11? Guys, that's going to do all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Before we get out of here, do want to tell you about our friends here at FanDuel, because, as always, we are brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Guys, it's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you missed the start of a game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join, because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Again, visit FanDuel.com/SECU to join today. Once again, FanDuel.com/SECU. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Once again, guys, that's going to do all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. As always, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, all across your favorite social media platforms, as well as our website, SECUnfiltered.com. Till next time, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you all on the other side.